Testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Let's see. God, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Can you guys hear it? Yeah. Yeah. Ooh-wee. How is everyone doing? I think it has been... This is the last time I actually did anything on YouTube. Let's see here. Last time I probably did one of these was when I got promoted to staff engineer. Now I'm an engineering manager. Videos live. Yeah, 9 months ago. Hey Sam, how are you? Man. Yep. Every once in a while I think about jumping back into the YouTube game, but I don't think I have it in me anymore. Yeah. It is a young man's game. Or a upset man's game. I don't know. I don't know how Eric still does it, to be honest, but he does. Oops. New ways to keep myself busy. I'm single. I've been single for about 6 months. A little back and forth with the ex and all that sort of stuff. But for the most part, single. And that's done. Um, Honestly, I messed up. I was dating somebody for about 6 or 7 weeks, and it got a little too serious too quick because it was pretty early after my breakup, and I messed that up. I fumbled there. Miss that girl. But I digress. Since I was last on here, I have become an engineering manager. I manage about 9 engineers now for one of the core parts of the ClickUp application. So, see Boise's paw over there. You can see this is like a dog den. I got a dog toy, stuffing, all that. Where do I work? I work at ClickUp. So ClickUp is a project management tool. It's we have chat, we have docs, we have a ton of stuff. The part that I work on, that I'm the engineering manager of, is of tasks. Tasks are kind of like the smallest unit of work that you would track. If you ever used anything like Jira, Asana, Monday, Trello, those types of products. The way that ClickUp kind of differentiates itself is that it's more of a bundle suite of tools than most things, and not only is the UI better than I think every product on the market, it's also we do weekly releases. We have tons of different products. Our automations are crazy. I've worked at ClickUp almost 3 years now, and I still learn new things every week about what our product has to offer. It's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. So, and I've had several friends who have run small businesses that have been paying for seats at other products that ClickUps has a better free version that other products charge for. And so they'll go and switch, and then eventually they'll convert, right? So they discover more features and things like that. But back at it, I don't know if I'm back at it so much as fighting boredom and depression. And I am not somebody who does well being single or alone. So I don't mean that I don't do well. I just 30, flirty, and thriving over here. But yeah, I don't know. I I like having somebody in my life. And honestly, I have a 2-week cruise coming up in Europe. God, my skin here is bothering me. Picking at myself. I have a 2-week cruise in Europe, and it's in May, so there's still some time, but we're getting close to the time if I don't meet somebody in the next 2 months or so. I'm going on this thing alone, and I'm gonna be miserable. Miserable. Um, I'm married with 2 kids. Trust me, it's better being single. That sounds like you need to get divorced when you say some shit like that, if I'm being honest. That's not, you know, not what I'm looking for. Uh, um, I'm in Florida, so I'm in the US. So, yeah. Um, oh, yeah, being single and married both have their pros and cons. Listen, I'm not in a rush to get married. Maybe I should be. I'm 37. Like, I'm not like I'm I do date with like intentionality. It's not like I'm like, like I went on 3 dates this last week with somebody, and and I there's not going to be a fourth. I like, even though this girl probably would ask me to hang out again, I don't have any interest. Like, there's nothing there. Like, it's one first date was very mediocre. Second date was good. Third date was like back to mediocre. You can't have two mediocre dates out of out of three. So um, I also think, like, when it comes to kids, take this as a 37-year-old with no romantic prospects right now and no kids, never been married. Uh, that depending on like money is the stress of a lot of relationships. So money's not an issue. Um, or shouldn't be an issue, I should say. And so, like, that removes a big stressor to where, like, I don't know. I'd be open to having like someone who's like super motivated and stuff like that. But like, also, I just kind of would be okay with like stay at home person that manages the house, the family, all that. Yeah. Um. But yeah, I'll find somebody. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just worried about finding somebody by May to go on. It, yeah. I think Tio breaks here, Scotty. If you find the right one, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder about this girl I fumbled. Uh, uh, she's great, man. She's these two little dogs, Frank and Boat, and they're sweet dogs, but they're so dumb. They were French bulldogs, if I remember correctly. Oh God, smooth brain. Uh, what would you advise a senior dev who wants to move into management? So when you're a senior dev, you're an IC, you're an individual contributor, and hey, Slumsy, uh, when you the main distinction between management and IC is um you're a facilitator when you're in management. So, like, a lot of my day to day is just making sure the engineers are not blocked and waiting on things. That's responding back to comments. That's responding back to PRs. That's moving stuff through the pipeline. That's doing some higher level things around performance and tracking and everything. Um, so yeah, it's So to make that transition, my point being is that, like, one, you have to absolutely be crushing as a senior dev. You need to become, quote unquote, a super senior type thing. But the other thing is you need to be able to pick things up. So, like, I think if I had to guess, one of the reasons that upper management came to me and asked, because I didn't actually ask to go into management. My first response was, no fucking way would I ever go into management. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll do it. But the thing that I think kind of stood out to probably senior management as why they is just not dropping the ball, keeping things moving, making sure shit gets out and gets done, being able to ship, seeing things, seeing other teams, and being able to resolve their issues and on the overlap. So you really have to be a facilitator, if that makes any sense. And so start doing that, and people will probably look at you in the management realm. It's kind of like you become a leader, and so the dogs are good though. Come here, baby girl. Oh, you'll never leave me. Not like all those women daddy scares away. Huh. Um, but yeah, so okay, dude, I have a full ass zoo over here right now. So even though my ex and I broke up about 6 months ago, and she hasn't lived here for 6 months or so, um, the plan was I'll keep the dogs. The dogs are mine. They're from before the relationship. But we have two. We had two cats together. The one just came in here a second ago, right? But the one cat wasn't happy being, it's going from a household where I'm here. She's a very needy cat. She sleeps with me every night. She's very sweet. Um, but uh, she she wasn't happy basically, and so came back. And my ex is gonna be moving, and then she'll take the cats. So they're kind of here for a little bit longer. Do you use AI tools like ChatGPT and get on your job? And would you ever let job applicants use these tools in an interview? Yeah, absolutely. Um, I have no problem with someone using those tools on a regular basis. You have to understand, like you're so when my work pays me $250,000 a year, it's because I provide 500 or 600 or $700,000 of value. And if you're using one of those tools to increase your velocity, increase your efficiency, increase your value, then every workplace in the world should leverage that. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that are like that. The, 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 the thing, this is where I have noticed that, like, when I've worked with junior and mid level engineers, is that sometimes they get shit back from Chat GPT that they don't understand, like what it's actually doing or saying. And so that becomes an issue. So I am a little concerned about engineers entering the field right now. I primarily only work with senior engineers, minimum 6, 7, 8 experience plus. Um, um, and so the few mid or junior engineers I have worked on, I think have they don't understand what they get back. They're just little chat GPT. So chat GPT doesn't know shit. It's just like an algorithm that goes and does this thing. And um, it's, when it's wrong, it's wrong. And also, ChatGPT can only give you an answer based on the question you're giving it. And a lot of times, you're asking questions that aren't the right questions. Like you don't know what you're looking for. I find it to be much more helpful if I know what I'm looking for. But I use it on a regular basis, and I mean, I code a lot I ever have, and that's been like I've been doing the management thing officially for 3 or 4 months, and then unofficially for another 6. Right, you do like a trial period type of stuff, and my coding has, before I was probably shipping code every day. I'm probably down to once a week, and it's very small. Oh my god, I gotcha. My cat's getting high on her own supply of catnip over here. Fell off the cat tower. This little thing. Spicy girl. Uh, God, I don't remember. All right. Uh, but no, ChatGPT and all those GitHub Copilot and everything else is really solid. I like animals. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of introverts find animals to be soothing. So your dev skills are decreasing. Well, my individual contributor skills are decreasing. Um, that's one of the trade-offs you make when you go into management. Um, I've abandoned my technical skills for I should say abandon my technical skills. I've stopped growing my hard technical skills for soft technical skills. Um, you know, um, I'll use a very realistic example here. As I mentioned, I have about 9 engineers between kind of two teams that I manage. And then like tangentially, there are like people who aren't directly under me that I work with on a regular basis. Maybe design, maybe QA, um, um, product managers, other engineering managers, other teams. You know, so there's probably like in total 15 to 20 people that I interact with on a regular basis. Now, I would consider myself a high performing individual contributor, high performing software engineer. But when I go and I increase, let's say everyone's productivity by 15%, 15 times like 20 is a 300% increase, right? And that's like those skills and how you help that 15%. That's where your value comes from. It's a different set of skill, right? It's a different set of value proposition. Do I still talk to Eric? Occasionally, we'll send some messages on Facebook Messenger like boomers, and yeah. What are skills to stand out as a software engineer, regardless of how advanced artificial intelligence is? I don't think you really should worry about artificial intelligence in terms of taking your job. I think what you should worry about is how to increase your velocity and your impact using AI. That's really the only thing you need to know. Um, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, I don't think it's an unrealistic statement to say that engineers should be twice as productive with AI than they are without. A lot of where you get stuck on things is trying to find answers and find direction for what it is looking for. Um, so, but yeah, from what I know, Eric's doing good. He's at Amazon still, my alma mater. I mean, not alma mater, but my previous employer. Yeah. Does this mean you're coming back to YouTube? No. This is just me trying to fill my time. I really don't have a lot going on in my life, and I right now I'm bored a lot on the weekends. So I thought I'd do one of these for fun, old fun time's sake. Take an hour of my time. Um, yeah. So a little dopamine hit of interaction. I don't get a lot of social interaction. Uh, so this is a little as social as a live stream be. Um, yeah, it's a little dopamine hit, a little nostalgia. I um I do think about it though. I'd like to go and get that silver play button for my ego. But I don't know. I'm When I started working at Amazon, but mainly ClickUp, I kind of said I'm gonna abandon all my side projects and go all in on my career and impact. And since then, I've had 3 titles in just under 3 years, and I have got some bonuses and things like that. And like one of the benefits of going to a startup is the better the company does, better you do, right? You get your stock options and things like that, and it all works out. And so that's kind of why I did that. Why did you mention that you're better off with somebody non-loan? I'm just venting. If you're asking like why or why do I feel that way, if you're asking why I said that, it's just me venting about my frustrations. I've met two people in 6 months that I've liked. One I dated for about 6 weeks. That kind of overwhelmed me, and then fizzled out. Not I don't want to say fizzled out. I got hit by two hurricanes. I was still kind of managing my emotions, and then by like a month later, I hit her up. Haven't heard back. Um, that's me. The other girl I went on like 2 dates with, and then I had to go home for the holidays. And by the time I got back, she didn't want anything to do with me. First two greats were great. Um, but yeah, so just venting. How am I? I'm good for the most part, man. I just work's going good. I've lost some weight, so like I was pushing 198. Now I'm around like 173, 174. So I gotta get in that, stay healthy, stay good shape. Um, Treating myself well, saving, investing. I'm looking at buying a house, but nothing's really caught my eye. So, um, a couple months back, I put an offer on a house, got outbid. That sucked. Uh, I am. Oh, I bought a sauna. So that's my Christmas present to myself this year. I got a 2% infrared sauna. Gonna have the electrician come out shortly and do that. What are my hobbies? I have no hobbies. Um, my hobby is trying to find someone to go out. It's like here's the thing that's kind of wild, dude. Is that like my hobbies are coding, but I'm too tired from work to do that anymore, and I don't really have anything I want to code. And so I play a little poker, but poker's only fun until you lose. Like I was at the casino last night playing Hold'em, and nothing crazy. I buy in for $300. I think I walked away $80 ahead. Like um, it's like the lowest stakes game. It's a 1-2 game. But it's I don't really have hobbies, man. And like I suppose investing. Like I'm interested in that. Um, but yeah, uh, you know, I do go to yoga on a weekly basis, and like I have this yoga sound bath class I go to. So um, yeah, more of a blackjack shark. Nah. I don't know if I've shared this before, but for about 2 years, I supported myself entirely off playing poker in my young 20s. My young 20s, early 20s. Um, so my hobbies are swiping on dating apps. Is your yoga class full of females? Yeah, for the most part. But like, I'm not gonna bother anybody at a yoga class. Like people are going there to chill out. I'm going there to manage my stress, and like I enjoy it. But yeah, but yeah, my hobbies right now are trying not to die alone. That's the gist of it. So, and I gotta say, man, I'm not like too impressed with these dating apps. So, but I guess that's kind of the intent. Is it's not supposed to be quick. Are you planning to relist your own data? No, I'm not. I'm not entering the dating app. I'm not. I'm not entering the dating app market. I don't know what I would do different if I was interested in it. Um, I am not a church going person. That's not my vibe. But if that's your vibe, that's fine. It's just not for me. Um, but you know, Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, man, because like, um, how do you handle conflicts within your team? Any tips? Just got promoted tech lead. What type of conflicts? Um, you know, I scenarios, to be honest. Um, I think most of the time, um, when you're dealing with conflict, you have to understand the root cause of it. So give a little more context, and I can. Uh, damn, bro, we're back. I don't know if we're back, but we're here. We are so back. We're so back alone. uh, should we miss a podcast? That's the one thing I have thought about reaching out to Eric is about going and restarting the podcast because like enough time has passed and the industry has changed that like it's it's something that I feel like I could provide more perspective and depth on different topics than before. Um, yeah. Um, where do I see my career in 10 years? I don't know. 10 years is a hard time to imagine. I imagine I'd be, if I continue down the management track, which I fully intend to, I imagine I'd be a director in 10 years. So, kind of the path from where I'm at now is engineering manager to senior engineering manager. The main distinction, I think, there, and I've even really like talked to my own, uh, um, my own thoughts. Like, I haven't even talked to my manager about uh, how to become a senior engineering manager because I'm still getting my. Uh, hey, Alex, I've been doing well. I haven't even talked to my manager about like the path towards senior engineering manager, but this is my take on it. Is that the gist of it is like anything else? How do you have more impact? And you have more impact by juggling more teams and like replicating your success on one team onto a second team. And then I think at the director level, I think at the director level, you have to there really has to be a need. So you need to be at a company that's growing, or you need to jump to a company that's growing. I would like to know how and where you, how I don't have a CS degree and would like to help give you back give some tips. The main thing I would say is to consistently apply yourself every day, and not only like in terms of your growth, but actual jobs, and also have unique projects. The thing that you are like, the thing you have to overcome. And by the way, this is like the number one thing I spend my time on, mentoring on. Which if you go to Mentor Cruise, I think there's a link in there as well in the description. It's me pointing below, not to me. um, there should be a link there, but that's the main thing is how you are applying to get jobs and how you're presenting yourself and how you're growing and what projects you have. Uh, that's the route that like those are the things you need to solve for because you have to go from this unproven asset to a proven asset. One of the reasons it's it's so hard to like get your first dev job is like no one's giving you a shot, right? You don't have any receipts. I think that's what the kids call them nowadays, receipts, right? Like, uh, but once you have the receipts, you get the credit, right? So you have to kind of build those receipts out, and there's various ways you can go about that. Um, so around the conflict about people have different opinions within the team and having a harder time coming to a consensus. So I think one thing that you have to realize as you get into a leadership position is uh, that you don't need a consensus. It's okay to like say as a like. I'm not saying you just ignore people; you hear them out, but you need to have a bias for action. That's what Amazon would call it. And so, um, Uh, so not everyone has to be in complete alignment to go and move forward with the strategy. You can move things forward and just say, "Hey, like agree, but disagree, but commit." So I would try to focus on that. Like one of the reasons that you are a tech lead is because people value your opinion more than they value a senior engineer opinion. Like that's a natural hierarchy, right? And like businesses work as a hierarchy thing, right? So sometimes you just have to respectfully say, "I hear you, but we're moving forward with this." Um, so that's one part of it. The other part is to see like make sure everyone feels like they're in the same uh path. So like everyone understands we're on the same team. Sometimes things can get nasty, or people can kind of like have concerns and they get like things get heated or personal or something like that, and like that's never the place we want to be. So that doesn't mean that you have to like do everything somebody says also. As soon as you got into the management club, you left stuff in the dark. Nah, nah. I left you in the dark much longer ago than that. I don't like get the more impact take, to be honest, especially when it's reflected towards engineers. Having more impact by working with multiple teams sometimes just creates more overhead for management. Saying that as a senior dev at Big Corp or as a common take on track for a promo. Um, yeah, I don't. Every workplace has like different ways of getting promoted. The biggest like tip I could give you if you want to go and get promoted is one, you're clearly going to have to be in the top 25% minimum of engineers at your company, but that's not going to be enough, right? The other thing is you need to find an advocate. So find your engineering manager, find someone a level above, and from there get their direction, get their advice. They may say like, "Hey, these are the things that you need to do." Um, I give this. I was supposed to give a talk at around whenever that first hurricane hit Florida this year and fucked my whole house up. And I had to talk. It was called the Path to Staff, and it was all about my learnings going from junior to staff engineer and how you get to different levels and things like that. But the advocate part was a big part of it. Maybe I'll just record a video on that talk and I'll release it. Uh, um, yeah. Or now it's just called the Path Engineering Manager. I'll just so I did from intern to engineering manager over the last decade, which is wild to think about. That um, if we start at my first internship today, I have more than 10 years of experience, and I still have delivered pizzas longer. um, Good. Yeah, this side up, I'm doing good, man. Yeah, my life is very interesting. My health is good for the most part. My work life is good. Financials are good. The area that I struggle in right now is social, and like romantic, I suppose. The social, it's like I have friends and things like that, but most people are married with kids. It's not like I see anybody, and they don't have the same amount of freedom or free time that I have, because we're just in different spots of our life. So those are the areas that I'm looking to fix, and then or improve, I should say, not fix. Yeah. I spend more time with cats and dogs than anything else. Uh, so, you know, we'll keep doing that and see how that goes. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm just trying to figure it out like everyone else. Um, yeah. Look at my cat over here. She's so fucking cute, man. I'm gonna miss this cat when she's gone, man. Um, God, look at her. She's not the cutest fucking cat. uh, and I just gotta stay busy. Um, I've honestly thought about hey Chris. I've thought about doing like Uber on the side just to make a little bit extra money and just more so to stay busy because like I don't know what else I'm doing. Like, you know, I sleep 8 or 9 hours, go to the gym 1 hour, and then like I work 8 or 9 hours. I have like 3 or 4 hours a day free. That's like there's only so many anime shows that I'm interested in watching, and I don't really play video games anymore. Mainly because I'm just like too tired from like video games. The video games that I like are very mentally engaging, and so it makes it a little harder when what's the word I'm looking for? It makes it harder to like. It's not as relaxing as it once was. You know, I really do give 100% of my mental energy to my job. Read some books, study some new topics. There's nothing I want to study. Um, but I do work out. That's what I'm telling you. I work out 1 hour a day. Find like-minded people. Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably right. Oh, thanks, this side. Good job on landing your first job. That's the hardest one. Get an outdoor hobby and find like-minded people. Yeah, that's fine. Like the thing is like, and maybe that's too much pressure for like a partner, but like if I do meet somebody, like we can go and do like cool shit. Like Kat and I, when we dated, we went on trips like every other weekend, and like we went to dinner and date nights and all that sort of stuff. I like that stuff. I like having like I don't necessarily like having a big circle. I like more of a smaller circle that's more in depth. But it takes me a while to like warm up to people. And so like uh, I usually am more deep with like the people that I'm interested in seeing. So uh, anyhow, a lot of my hobbies are solo hobbies. So it's I gotta find me a girl that likes anime and video games. Try learning an instrument. You know, this thing, man. I've heard. I know obviously quite a few engineers from work and whatnot. There's a lot of them that mountain bike. I don't understand. Like, maybe it's because we all like sit for a living and they're looking for something different. Um, but I'm not opposed to like trying that. Doing some stuff there. But all right, I got about 5 more minutes in me before I'm gonna go call it. And any last questions here before I say goodbye? And I will see you guys in approximately a year. So that's about that's the gist of it, though. I appreciate y'all. Nice catching up. Nice saying hi. No, thank you for allowing me to vent. I am. I don't know what I'm gonna go do, but this has been fun. Uh, go bug Eric about restarting the podcast. You can tell him Dylan did a live stream and he said he's down. Uh, I'll just be the I think in commentary they call it the color commentary. The person who's like supposed to be a little bit more flair. Eric can be the more serious guy. I guess.